Welp, y'all, I am back. It has been a long day, and it was a long day yesterday, and so I fell behind, and I did not get y'all read yesterday, but I'm going to double it up today, long day or not, so that y'all will get caught up. We are on day 22 of the story, and we're still on the battle begins. Joshua is out laying down the law. It says, on the day the Lord gave the Amorites over to Israel, Joshua said to the Lord in the presence of Israel, Sun, stand still over Gibeon, and you, moon, over the valley of Ajalon. So the sun stood still, and the moon stopped, till the nation avenged itself on its enemies. As it is written in the book of Jashar, the sun stopped in the middle of the sky, delayed going down about a full day. There has never been a day like this before or since, a day when the Lord listened to the human beings. Surely the Lord was fighting for Israel. So surely he was fighting for Israel. We know he was fighting for Israel, guys. Come on now. It's his chosen people, even if they are stiff-necked crowd of just ruffians, right? Then Joshua returned with all Israel to the camp of Gilgal. Now the 5 kings had fled and hidden in the caves of Makkedah. Then when Joshua was told that the 5 kings had been found hiding in the cave of Makkedah, he said, roll large rocks up to the mouth of the cave and post some men there to guard it. But don't stop. Pursue your enemies. Attack them from the rear, and don't let them reach their cities, for the Lord your God has given them into your hand. We're going after them. So Joshua and the Israelites defeated them completely, but a few survivors managed to reach their fortified cities. The whole army then returned safely to Joshua in the camp of Makkedah, and no one uttered a word against the Israelites. Don't you like when I just say words however I want? Yeah, I read it. Makkedah. I like that. It doesn't matter. Joshua said, open the mouth of the cave and bring those 5 kings out to me. So they brought the 5 kings out of the cave. The kings of Jerusalem, Hebron, Jeremoth, Lachish, Eglon, and Eglon. When they had brought these kings to Joshua, he summoned all the men of Israel and said to the army commanders who had come with him, come here and put your feet on the necks of these kings. So they came forward and placed their feet on their necks. Put your feet on anyone's neck, they ain't gonna like that, that's for sure. Joshua said to them, do not be afraid, do not be discouraged, be strong and courageous. He'd been told that same thing quite a bit, right? This is what the Lord will do to all the enemies you are going to fight. Then Joshua put the kings to death and exposed their bodies on 5 poles. They were left hanging on the poles until evening. At sunset, Joshua gave the order that they took them down, and they took them down from the poles and threw them into the cave where they had been hiding. At the mouth of the cave they placed large rocks, which were there to this day. That day Joshua took Makkedah. He put the city and its king to the sword, totally destroying everyone in it. He left no survivors, and he did to the king of Makkedah as he had done to the king of Jericho. There's a town in Georgia, it's called Hahira, but I say it Hahira. Yeah, and my son hates that. If one of you is sitting here saying, I hate how you're saying that, I'm sorry, y'all. If I'm going to say it, I'm just going to say it, and that's just how that goes. So put in the comments, don't be saying it like that, and why don't you say it better to me in there then, okay? Because I wasn't there when they had that named town. So I can't say as I'm wrong, but I can't say as I'm right either. So Joshua subdued the whole region, including the hill country, the Negev, and the western foothills and the mountain slopes, together with all their kings. He left no survivors. He totally destroyed all who breathed, just as the Lord, the God of Israel, had commanded. Joshua subdued them from Kadesh Barnea and Gerah, and from the whole region of Goshen and Gibeon. All these kings and their land. Y'all, that was an interruption. That was my son. I'm here reading this for Sunny D with Sunny D here. He's not right with me now because he's in bed already. But I'm right here in his house, and that was his daddy, my boy, right here, come in to say, hey, Pop, are you coming back out? Of course I'm going to be coming back out. We're just reading about what Joshua had done. All these kings and their lands Joshua conquered in one campaign because the Lord, the God of Israel, fought for Israel. Then Joshua returned with all Israel to the camp of Gilgal, and Jabin, king of Hazor, heard of this, or when Jabin, king of Hazor, heard of this, he sent word to Jobab, king of Madon, now to the kings of Shimron and Akshaf, and to the northern kings who were in the mountains, to the Arba south, and Kinnereth in the western foothills, and in Nephoth Dor on the west, to the Canaanites in the east and west, to the Amorites, Hittites, Perizzites, and Jebusites in the hill country, and to the Hivites below Hermon in the region of Mizpah. They came out with all their troops and large numbers of horses and chariots, a huge army as numerous as the sand on the seashore. All these kings joined forces and made camp together at the waters of Merom to fight against Israel. The Lord said to Joshua, do not be afraid of them, because guess what? I think he's probably saying, I'm already going to hand them over. Let's see. Because by this time tomorrow, I will hand all of them slain over to Israel. You are to hamstring their horses and burn their chariots. So Joshua and his whole army came against them suddenly at the waters of Merom and attacked them, and the Lord gave them into the land of Israel. They defeated them and pursued them all the way to Greater Shidon, to Misrephoth Meim, and to the valley of Mizpah on the east, until no survivors were left. Joshua did to them as the Lord had directed. He hamstringed their horses and burned their chariots. Now, Sonny D, why is there ham on a horse? That's a pig piece. Kidding. That's not got anything to do with what this is. At that time, Joshua turned back and captured Hazaron and put its kings to the sword. Hazaron had been the head of all the kingdoms. Everyone in it they put to the sword. They totally destroyed them, not sparing anyone that breathed, and they burned Hazor. I keep saying Hezron. It's Hazor itself. Yeah, Hazor. I'm sorry, I messed that up all through there. Joshua took all these royal cities and their kings and put them to the sword. He totally destroyed them, and Moses, the servant of the Lord, had commanded. Yet Israel did not burn any of the cities built on their mounds, except Hazor, which Joshua burned. I don't know why I said Hezron. It just something sounded like it should be there. The Israelites carried off for themselves all the plunder and livestock of these cities, but all the people they put to the sword until they completely destroyed them, not sparing anyone that breathed. As the Lord commanded his servant Moses, so Moses commanded Joshua, and Joshua did it. He left nothing undone of all that the Lord commanded Moses. So Joshua took the entire land, just as the Lord had directed Moses, and he gave it as an inheritance to Israel according to their tribal divisions. Then the land had rest from war. These ancient cities, defeated by Joshua and the Israelites, have been forgotten by history. Yet for the Israelites, each name listed represented risk, loss, hardship, and struggle. God's promise to Abraham centuries earlier was coming to pass. A new nation was being formed. Much of the promised land was theirs. Much still remained to be taken. In the meantime, their leader had some final words of encouragement and challenge. After a long time had passed, the Lord had given Israel rest from all their enemies around them. Joshua, by then a very old man, summoned all Israel, their leaders, elders, judges, and officials, and said to them, I am very old. You yourselves have seen everything the Lord your God has done to all these nations for your sake. It was the Lord your God who fought for you. Remember how I have allotted as an inheritance for your tribes all the land of the nations that remain, the nations I conquered between the Jordan and the Mediterranean Sea to the west. The Lord your God himself will push them out for your sake. He will drive them out before you, and you will take possession of their land, as the Lord your God promised you. Now I am about to go the way of all the earth. You know with all your heart and soul that not one of all the good promises the Lord your God gave you has failed. Every promise has been fulfilled. Not one has failed. But just as the good things the Lord your God has promised you have come to you, so he will bring on you all the evil things he has threatened until the Lord your God has destroyed you from this good land he has given you, if you violate the covenant of the Lord your God, which he commanded you, and go serve other gods and bow down to them. Then the Lord's anger will burn against you, and you will quickly perish from the good land he has given you. Then Joshua assembled all the tribes of Israel in Shechem, and summoned the elders, leaders, judges, officials of Israel, and they presented themselves before God. Joshua said to all the people, This is what the Lord, the God of Israel, says. Long ago your ancestors, including Terah, the father of Abraham and Nahor, lived beyond the Euphrates River and worshipped other gods. I just think it's funny because words are struggling for me. Yeah. But I took your father Abraham from the land beyond the Euphrates and led him throughout Canaan and gave him many descendants. I gave him Isaac, and to Isaac I gave Jacob and Esau. I assigned the hill country of Seir and Esau, but Jacob and his family went down to Egypt. Of Seir, he assigned the hill country of Seir to Esau, and Jacob and his family went down to Egypt. So there we are, y'all. We are going to put it at an end there for day 22. That was page 122 days to get 100 pages. What, y'all? That is crazy. But I'm going to be right back because I'm going to go ahead and hang up this one and have a video, and then I'm going to be right back for day 23. I'm kind of being quiet because Miss Nyla's asleep and Mr. Sunny D's supposed to be going to sleep. So they're getting very quiet, and so will I. But I love y'all. I appreciate all you subscribers, all you viewers. I'm so happy when you give me the like, when you share the video, or when you subscribe to said page. If you like hearing the story, just put something in the comment that says, hey, I like hearing the story. I love y'all. I pray you have an amazing day. And bye for just a few minutes, and then I'll be back. Bye.